Some people forget their first love like an old song on the radio. Others remember every word, every look, every feeling, even years later. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and you're not broken. There's a reason your brain refuses to let go. You might think it's nostalgia or weakness, but psychology tells a very different story. What if remembering your first love isn't about the past at all? What if it says something powerful about who you are right now? Stay with me, because this goes much deeper than romance, and by the end, you might see your memories in a completely new way. First love hits differently because it's the first emotional blueprint your brain ever creates for intimacy. Before that moment, love is mostly an idea shaped by movies, stories, and imagination. Then suddenly, it becomes real, intense, and personal. Your brain doesn't treat first love like just another relationship. It treats it like a major life event, similar to your first big success or your first real loss. That's because new emotional experiences release powerful chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, which help lock memories in place. This is why people can forget what they ate last week, but remember the exact way their first love smiled at them. The brain remembers what changed it. First love doesn't just happen to you, it reshapes you. And the truth is, many adults quietly carry that memory without talking about it. They move on, build careers, start families, and live full lives. Yet one name can still trigger a wave of emotion. That doesn't mean they're stuck. It means something meaningful happened. People who can't forget their first love often deeply emotional learners. They don't just experience life on the surface, they absorb it. When something touches them, it leaves a mark. These individuals tend to feel things fully, whether it's joy, heartbreak, or connection. Their emotions don't fade quickly because they don't experience relationships casually. They invest emotionally, even when they don't mean to. First love also tends to happen during a time when identity is still forming. Teenagers and young adults are figuring out who they are, what they value, and how they want to be loved. When love enters during that stage, it gets tangled up with self-discovery. That's why first love feels like it changed everything. In many ways, it did. It shaped how you see closeness, trust, and vulnerability. Another reason first love stays vivid is because it's usually unfiltered. There's less emotional armor, fewer defenses, and not much emotional experience to protect yourself. You say things you'd never say now and feel things without questioning them. Later relationships may be healthier or more stable, but they're rarely as raw. The brain remembers raw emotion more intensely than controlled emotion. That's not romantic, it's neurological. People who remember their first love strongly also tend to be reflective thinkers. They replay moments, analyze meaning, and wonder about what-ifs. This doesn't mean regret, it means curiosity about life paths. Sometimes the memory isn't about the person at all, it's about who you were when you were with them. That version of you felt something new, hopeful, or fearless, and that feeling becomes precious. For many people, first love is tied to a sense of innocence. Before heartbreak taught caution, and before disappointment taught restraint, there was openness. The brain stores that emotional freedom like a snapshot. This is also why certain triggers bring memories back instantly. A song, a smell, or even a random coffee shop can unlock emotions that feel untouched by time. Memory is emotional, not logical. Interestingly, people who can't forget their first love often form strong emotional attachments in general. They value connection, loyalty, and depth over surface-level attraction. Quick flings don't satisfy them for long. They may appear calm on the outside, but internally they experience strong emotional currents. This makes them empathetic partners and loyal friends, but it also means they feel lost deeply. In some cases, remembering a first love is linked to unfinished emotional processing, not closure in the dramatic sense, but understanding. The brain wants resolution, and if it didn't get it, it keeps the file open. That doesn't mean the person wants to go back, it means the mind wants meaning. Humans don't like emotional loose ends. People who hold on to first love memories often idealize moments rather than reality. They remember how it felt, not necessarily how it actually was. The brain edits out the boring parts and replays the emotional highlights. This isn't delusion, it's how memory works. Emotional memory favors feeling over accuracy. That's why the memory can feel perfect even if the relationship wasn't. Another key trait is emotional honesty. These people don't easily lie to themselves about what they felt. Even years later, they acknowledge that something mattered. That honesty can be uncomfortable, especially in a culture that values moving on quickly, but it's also a sign of emotional maturity. Suppressing emotions doesn't erase them, it just hides them. People who can't forget their first love are often deeply loyal in relationships. When they commit emotionally, it's not shallow. That level of bonding doesn't turn off easily. This can make breakups harder, but it also makes love richer. They don't love halfway. Here's the part most people don't tell you. Remembering your first love doesn't mean you're stuck in the past. It means your brain learned love deeply the first time. Psychologists have found that early emotional experiences create templates. These templates influence how you recognize love, respond to closeness, and measure emotional safety. First love sets the baseline. People who can't forget their first love are often people who felt truly seen for the first time. That feeling becomes a reference point, not a regret. It teaches the brain what connection can feel like. The memory stays because it mattered, not because something is missing. In fact, many people who remember their first love clearly are capable of loving deeply again. They just don't forget what depth feels like. The real difference is this: some people move on by forgetting. Others move on by carrying meaning forward. Remembering doesn't equal longing, it equals emotional memory. And emotional memory is one of the strongest forces in the human mind. Your brain doesn't store first love as a person, it stores it as a feeling, and feelings don't obey time. So if you're someone who can't forget your first love, there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're weak, broken, or unable to move forward. It means you felt something real at a time when your heart was wide open. That memory helped shape who you are today. It taught you how deeply you can care, how strongly you can connect, and how vulnerable love can be. Those lessons don't disappear, and they're not supposed to. The goal isn't to erase first love, it's to understand it, respect it, and let it inform healthier connections in the present. Memory doesn't trap you unless you stop growing. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think remembering your first love is a strength or a burden? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this video resonated with you, hit like so more people can find it. Subscribe if you enjoy deep psychology and human behavior stories like this. And remember, the heart doesn't remember everything, only what changed it.